Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not. And if you want to help support the channel, help us continue to do what we do over here, it's always very much appreciated. We could use your donations, and I have links down below to PayPal and Ko-fi.com where you can do that very thing. You can also purchase one or more of my books, the ones you see on your screen and others. There's a link down below where you can check all of my books out and pick a couple for yourself. And of course, we always thank you. We love our supporters. It's truly appreciated. So consider checking out those links and helping us out. Now, when you, especially if this is your first time to Cambodia or living in Cambodia, and Siem Reap is the place you want to be. I have lived, in my 7 years here, I've lived in many areas of town. The way Cambodia, or the cities in Cambodia works, is that you have the main city, like I live in Siem Reap, but cities are also divided into different areas and communes within the main city. And while I've been here, I have not experienced a bad place to live. Like, I can't think of an area in Siem Reap where I would absolutely tell people you don't want to live there, from my experience. And that's all I can tell you, of course, is from my experience. But I do have areas I've lived in that I've really liked, and they might seem to be all the same and have the same amenities and different stores and restaurants and stuff, but there are subtle differences in each one. So the area you choose to live in is going to depend on what kinds of things are more important to you, if you know what I mean. And today I'm going to give you a handful, just something to think about, especially if you're thinking about coming here and retiring here and you're not quite sure which part of town you want to live in. I'm going to try, and these are going to be away from downtown. They're going to be away from Pub Street. Nothing wrong with living on Pub Street. But because it's, the center of tourism here, apartments are going to be more expensive than what you can get elsewhere with the same amenities, same room, same size, same everything else, right? But if you like someplace that is hustling and bustling almost 24 hours a day, and you really like that vibe and that atmosphere, you can certainly check out apartments down there. There are plenty down by the Pub Street area. But I'm going to try to give you some that are a little bit away from there. Now, when it comes to getting around Cambodia, I've said this before. If you want to go to a specific place or building and you're taking a pass app or tuk-tuk and they don't know where it is, try to find the nearest wat or temple or the nearest local market in where you want to go in that area. And because everybody knows where those are. So like when we go to Kelly's house, Kelly from Ottoman Asia, when we go over to his house and we're taking a pass app, we just tell the pass app driver, take us to Sakor. That's one of the big local markets here. And there's no problem getting there. Whereas if we just gave him an address and kind of told him, hey, we're looking for this building here, blah, 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 there'd be some confusion. And then when you get to that area around either one of the temples or one of the markets, then you can guide them where you need to go. And so that's what I'm going to use for the purposes of this video. And I'm going to start with the Wat Bo area. Of course, there's a big temple there, Wat Bo. But that area is great. My first 2 years here, I spent almost 2 years in my apartment on Street 20 in the Wat Bo area. And from my experience, I think it's one of the better areas as far as there's a really good combination of local and foreigners that live in that area. So especially if it's your first time in Cambodia, you don't just want to thrust yourself into a different culture. There might be communication barriers and things. living in a place like Wat Bo, at least at first, could really help you out, because if you're looking for something and you're worried that a local might not understand you, you have many foreigners there who could point you in the right direction, where English wouldn't be an issue. It's got a great ratio of locals and foreigners. Plus, they're really building up that area. Even since I've lived there, they've really fixed the infrastructure. They widened the roads, widened the sidewalks. They have a biking path for bicycles, and a lot of new businesses are popping up there, because Siem Reap is really trying to promote Wat Bo as another must-see, must-visit attraction when people come to Siem Reap, because they have Angkor Wat, they have Pub Street, and everybody knows about those, and they're trying to get more of those areas, so people, of course, want to stay longer, spend more money here, and that makes perfect sense. And they're really building up Wat Bo to be that area, or one of those areas anyway, and it shows. There's nothing you can't find in that area. You wouldn't have to go far to find anything you would need. Plenty of mom and pop stores, plenty of restaurants, plenty of bars, plenty of convenience stores, electronic shops. It's really close to Highway 6, the main highway running through Siem Reap, and on Highway 6 you can find just everything. Anything you want down on Highway 6, including the biggest local market in town, Salu, is right there off Highway 6. So it's a really good area. It's about I would say about a 15-minute walk if you want to go right to the heart downtown. If you're walking from the Wat Bo area in there, about 15 minutes, I would say. But the river is really close. Where we lived on Street 20, it was just like one long block away, and we could go sit by the river at night. People are exercising, they're running or walking on the sidewalks, crossing the bridge and doing laps. Plenty of benches. You can sit down and watch right there on the river. You can watch the water, people watch, whatever you want to do. Very relaxing. A lot of people do that in the evenings when it cools off a little bit. So yeah, for a good jumping off point, especially if you're just trying to get your legs under you in a new country, I would recommend finding somewhere in the Wat Bo area. And all of these you can take to your agent if you're using an agent, and tell them the areas you prefer, and they'll find you appropriate apartments in that area. But of course, you can still do it by yourself also, and just go and look and knock on doors and find one you want. It's up to you. Now, the next one, and I really liked living out there, was Wat Polanka. We lived in the back end of Wat Polanka, not up closer near the front gate. We lived in the back of that temple, in that area. And I really liked it for several reasons. First, hardly any foreigners. So if you're more of a jump right into the local culture, I can't say for sure, because I don't know about every building or apartment that was there. But I rarely saw any foreigners, unless they seemed to be walking with backpacks, like passing through, kind of. I never saw familiar foreign faces at any of the markets, any of the bars, any of the stores. Only locals. And every night where we lived, our little street there, would every evening families would come out. People would be walking. Kids were to be out there playing or riding their bicycles, all in the middle of the street, just having fun. People would be sitting around eating and drinking together. It just had more of a neighborhood, like a local neighborhood kind of vibe to it. And there were several mom and pop shops like right around the corner from us, and individuals that would sell, like one lady out in front of her house, she would just have cuts of pork, and that was all she sold, just pork. And then further down, another lady would have like chicken, and that's it, just chicken. The nearest market is Sasamaki, but again, that's going to be about a 15-minute walk. So that would be the downside. There wasn't really a big local market close if you're walking. I know a lot of people have mobility issues, so and you could always take a pass app or a tuk-tuk with no problem for maybe $1 or something. But you know me, I like to walk. but there wasn't really a big local market to pick up meat and stuff, so we would use the local places. But sometimes the local places, they might not be open, especially during the holidays when everybody goes and visits relatives and things, because they're doing it out of their home, so there's really no operating hours. So it was always catch as catch can. Sometimes they'd be there, sometimes they wouldn't, that kind of thing. But there were still plenty of mom and pop shops for your everyday needs. And but to get downtown, it's a long walk. It's probably 20-25 minutes. It's a pretty long walk from all the way out there in Wat Polanka. But like I said, the further away you get from downtown, the more local it becomes, and also the least expensive it becomes. It becomes less expensive, I should say. But I really love the area. Lots of nature around there. Everybody was nice and friendly. Nobody got in your business. Everybody kept to themselves. Good kind of, like I said, local neighborhood flair to it. And I really enjoyed living out there. So if that's you, if you want something peaceful and quiet and away from the hustle of the city, while still being able to get there when you want, I would choose Wat Polanka. And next we have the area right by the big market, Sakor. As I said before, that's where Kelly from Autumn in Asia lives. It's a pretty busy road. The market is a lot bigger, like most markets here. It's a lot bigger than what you can see when you're passing by. Once you get in there, you're going to find all these alleyways and all these little roads and all these little walking paths that lead you to more and more and more things. I mean, it goes deep back there. And that's one of the advantages of living close by a local market. He lives just a few minute walk away, just a like 3-4 minute walk. And, he can go to the big market and get anything he needs there, from the morning all the way late into the evening. At sit-down restaurants, prepared food, or you can buy all the raw ingredients, meat and vegetables and herbs and spices. You can get clothes, you can get helmets, you can get bags, backpacks, anything you want. But despite the fact that it is kind of a busy road, you got all these little side roads, all these little unpaved little side roads, and if you go down there, you're going to find apartments that you can rent. So even though you're by a busy area, it doesn't feel like it when you're at home, like where Kelly lives. He's not far off that road, but it feels like he's further, if that makes sense, because it feels kind of secluded back there. You go down the little alley and then turn to the right, and there's his apartment building, and you don't hear the hustle and bustle, you don't hear the horns or any of the chaos, that local markets can have. And it's a really nice area. We lived down there for a while, and I love that it was so close to a market that you didn't have to go that far. But even downtown is not that far away. Again, probably a 15-20 minute walk, to get downtown if you had something you had to do down there. But you can find anything you need at that big market, and you don't have to go downtown if you don't want to. And everything's a little bit cheaper, a little bit less expensive than it is downtown. So that always helps as well. And I know he really likes living there, and it works for him. He's got a great apartment, nice looking, and he and his family are happy, and that's all that matters. And so if you're looking for something that's close by a busy market, but you can still be far enough away to not have to deal with it all the time, check out the Sakor area. And then we're going to talk about where we live right now, because I love this area. This is this concrete drain road. Not a very attractive name, but it's accurate because there is a big concrete drain that goes on one side of this road, over much of it. But I love this area because we are sandwiched in between Suck Sand Road on one side and another really busy road on the other side. And depending on where you need to go, you can take either of those streets and get to downtown one way, or get to other parts of town the other way, with everything you could want there, restaurants and shopping. And they have a little market, even though we use the old market downtown because it's like a 15-minute walk, but it is the closest big market to us. But what I love is that you can go in either direction to get to either Suksand Road or the other main road on the other end. I forget the name. But in between, you have so many restaurants, so many mom and pop shops. You have for our daily needs, I only have to go about, I don't know, 2 minutes, 2 minutes or less away to any number of mom and pop stores. If one don't have something I want, I go right next door to the next one, and they usually have it. So it's very easy to get your daily things you need, salt, sugar, sodas, juice, potato chips if you want them. You can get ramen noodles, just all that stuff you find at a local mom and pop store here. And it's great. And it's and I got that guy right across the street every day selling those 50-cent banh mi type sandwiches, which I just love. And yeah, it's pretty much got everything. And there are some new buildings going up, and they plan on having a lot of apartments here. So if you want to get in on that, just tell whoever you're going through when you're looking for an apartment, or come here and look for yourself, that you just want to go down to Concrete Drain Road, and there's plenty of apartments available if you know how to look for them. And prices are reasonable. You got everything you need. Well, what more could you want? I actually really like living here. And, we'll probably move again, but I don't see myself doing that for a while. This place is affordable. It works for our needs. And like I said, it's quiet enough. This is probably one of the only areas I have not heard dogs barking every night. I've not heard a single dog barking since I've been here. A lot of stray cats running around, but no dogs, which is weird because I like dogs. But anyway, that's a different story. But yeah, so those are some choices you might have coming here and to live in Siem Reap. You can check all those out on Google Maps if you want. Find the one you're looking for, and you'll be good to go. All right. From Siem Reap, Cambodia, I will talk to you guys in the next one.